Hey you wanna listen to me spiel on about my galaxy that I discovered for like 5 minutes?
Me?
Yeah, I mean, who else? You're the only other person here.
I don't need to know that.
Hey there, buddy, you don't really need
Why
to be aggressive.
do I
Stop!
need
Hey,
to
hey,
know that?
Just fire the book. Do you see this idiot standing right before your very eyes? Yeah, that idiot is me. I'm here to talk about a galaxy. That's pretty much it. Right, cue the music. Let's get started. Ah, Earth. Such a lovely place, such a lovely planet, the place that we all live. But Earth is not our core subject today. Actually, we're gonna be traveling a lot farther. Like, a lot farther. In fact, about 50 million light years from Earth. I can only be talking about one thing, and one thing in particular, and that is the newly discovered galaxy that actually I discovered. Me, Nabil. This galaxy is actually named the Comp-19 after composers in the 19th century who you may know. If you're wondering how I discovered this, let me tell you the story. As we know, the universe is forever expanding and getting farther from us every day, or redshifting. And contrary to redshifting, there's blue shifting, or getting close to us. It is theorized that the Comp-19 galaxy is actually a merged version of two galaxies. One of the two galaxies could possibly be the Messier 86 galaxy. After all, it does show off a notable blue shift. And after a sudden disappearance in the Messier 86 and a much brighter galaxy than we observed before, I only could have concluded that there was a new galaxy formed, and I dubbed the Comp-19. Fun fact! Before hurtling towards us at 244 kilometers per hour, the Messier 86 galaxy was a galaxy in the Virgo cluster. This means it was being blue shifted. However, it is speculated that it did collide with an unknown galaxy to form the Comp-19. If you don't understand, it's kind of like this. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, just a regular day for a regular galaxy, you know, just chilling. Wait, is that another? Oh crap, that's another galaxy. Hey, you over there, you want to be friends? I would love to, but I'm kind of going 244 kilometers per hour, and there's nothing stopping me from getting to my destination. And you're kind of in my way. Well, can't you just, stop? Easier said than done, pal. You know you don't have to do this, right? I'm sorry, but I have to. I'm sorry, I have to. I gotta reach my destination. You're kind of in my way. Today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. So yeah, that's basically what happened. Fun fact. Even though the Messier 86 is a elliptical galaxy, or even a lenticular galaxy, which is a cross between an elliptical and spiral galaxy, the end result of the merge seems to be a spiral galaxy. Meaning the galaxy the Messier 86 most likely collided with was a spiral galaxy. Usually this type of thing results in an irregular galaxy, however, this is a special exception. Even though the collision was rather harsh, the Comp-19 still inherits the speed at which the M86 blue shifts towards us. Meaning the Comp-19 is currently being blue shifted towards us at 220 kilometers per second, which is still really fast. Here's a diagram of the Comp-19. As you can see, the Comp-19 is obviously a spiral galaxy. Notice the arm, with remnants of an elliptical galaxy. A prominent feature in the Comp-19 galaxy is actually a rather big and colorful nebula with a protostar. This is of course a star that is about to be formed. Next, just like our Milky Way, is a giant black hole smack dab right in the middle of the galaxy. Black holes are theorized to be what holds spiral galaxies together. And another interesting object includes these massive globular star clusters. They're basically what they say they are, just massive clumps of stars. Surprisingly, the Comp-19 has one of the lowest globular star cluster counts of the entire observable universe. Although it isn't that surprising because compared to other galaxies such as our Milky Way, the Comp-19 is rather small, only spanning 70,000 light years across. And of course with the galaxy's name, you need to have some stars to complement it. Stars in the Comp-19 are named after, you guessed it, famous composers. Some of these include Beethoven, our red supergiant, Mozart, one of our red giants, Stravinsky, Comp-19's hottest white dwarf, and two main sequence stars including Tchaikovsky, which is a blue star, and Bach, which is a yellow star. All of these stars display a special trait which makes them unique from the rest of their groups. For instance, Beethoven is the largest red supergiant of the Comp-19 galaxy. Or as we mentioned previously, Stravinsky is the hottest white dwarf. And as you can see, all the stars listed right here on an HR diagram that was obviously made by an underdeveloped child. Oh, fuck. Anyways, we should probably actually talk about the contents of the HR diagram first. As you can see, all 5 unique stars are labeled on the HR diagram. Stars that have longer wavelengths on the EMS tend to be cooler stars because they exhibit less energy. Usually stars that have a higher wavelength on the EMS have more energy, therefore being hotter stars, as depicted on the HR diagram. As we scroll down, we see the star's various stats, including the star name, its color, its temperature, its absolute magnitude, and the type of star it is. Let's talk about a specific star. I'm gonna be talking about Bach because it's a fairly normal star. Bach started out like all other stars, in a nebula. Nebula is basically a giant cloud of gas and dust. Eventually, inside the nebula are regions of greater and less gravity, causing the gas and dust to pull together. And as more atoms gather, their gravitational attraction increases. This is basically a protostar. Then when the core of the protostar reaches a critical temperature, nuclear fusion starts to begin. First into hydrogen, then into helium, and so on and so forth. After this, it reaches the main sequence phase, where stars live out most of their lives. This is when stars reach nuclear fusion. They reach an equilibrium and they shine energy into space. What happens next is really dependent on the mass of the star. For now, I'm going to be focusing on low mass stars because Bach, our core subject, is a low mass star. Low mass stars are half as massive as our own sun and can live up to 80 to 100 billion years in the main sequence. After the main sequence of a low mass star, it reaches its red giant phase. This is when the outer gas layers of the star expand, and as the star uses all of its fuel, its core starts to shrink. Red giants are usually, you guessed it, red in color and have high luminosity. Then what happens next is actually kind of spectacular. Just like at the beginning of a star's life, a planetary nebula starts to take place. It occurs at the end of a low mass red giant's life. The core of the planetary nebula is very hot and luminous, and the outer shell appears as brightly colored gas clouds. Then, as the clouds dissipate, we see a white dwarf, the core of the planetary nebula. It forms when a low mass star runs out of fuel, and it is the final stage in the cycle for low mass stars. The white dwarf is astronomically dense, and its gravity is 350,000 times that of gravity on Earth. However, all good things must come to an end. As the temperature starts to cool, it reaches the final stage of stellar evolution for low mass stars. This is a black dwarf. Dwarf? Did I really just say dwarf? Wow, okay, never mind. The black dwarf no longer emits heat or light and is technically no longer a star anymore. But since it no longer emits any light or heat or anything, it's never been seen before. Go figure. And at this point is the end of our low mass star's journey. Until it starts over again, because it is a cycle. However, that'll take too long, so we'll just move on to something else. As you can see here by this HD quality image, you can see that Bach has 4 main elements because it is a somewhat old star, those being hydrogen, helium, lithium, and magnesium, all fairly new elements on the periodic table. They have their own emission spectra, showing off their own colors. And as you can see in the absorption spectrum, you can see all the elements are shown within the spectrum. Now let's talk about how it all started. The Big Bang.
Hot darn!
Hey, I think you got the wrong clip in. This is a picture showing of that stupid show that like was funny for like a minute. That's the right thing? Are you sure? You're not sure? How am I supposed to do my job if you're not sure? Oh, okay, never mind, that's better. Most scientists believe the universe is finite and expanding, but where it all started is a mystery. Or so we thought before. Scientists believe all matter, energy, and space was once squeezed into a very, very small volume. This resulted in a sudden expansion known as the Big Bang.
Hot darn!
That's basically how you and I are here right now. However, the name is kind of misleading because it really isn't a bang and more like a whoosh. Most scientists also believe that the Big Bang occurred 13.7 billion years ago. The evidence in which of this occurs is the Doppler effect. Basically, when sound waves get closer to you, they compress, and when they get farther away from you, they spread out. Same thing can be applied with light. Light behaves like sound, like On the EMS, the red end of the spectrum has a lower frequency than the blue end. This is where I go into more detail about redshifting. If a star is moving away from us, the light gets stretched out. This makes it appear more red than it really is. If a star is moving towards us, the light gets squeezed. This makes it more blue than it really is. This whole concept basically explains why if a galaxy is being blue shifted towards us, it looks like it's getting closer to us, but if it's getting red shifted, it's getting farther away from us. And red shifting plays a lot into the evidence of the Big Bang. The shift in the absorption lines of the galaxies led Hubble to conclude that the galaxies are moving apart from each other. Space is actually expanding as we know it, causing the galaxies to move along with it. Whew, that was a lot of information packed into like 10 seconds. So that's kind of it. I'm sort of kind of done here. I don't really have to do anything more. What a way to end. Start off by explaining how it all started. Great theming there, Nabil. Just perfect. Well, okay. Bye now.